وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم ودعائنا الهدى دلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله مرضاته وقرب ثوابه سبحانه وتعالى مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب صافي الهني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين 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 يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. Bismillah. We're continuing with our book Minhajul Abidin ila Jannati Rabbil Alamin. And today is our 164th lesson. So inshallah we will continue our 600 lah. So Minhajul Abidin, the path of the worshipful servants ila Jannati Rabbil Alamin, to the garden of the Lord of the worlds. A book by Imam al-Mujaddid حجة الإسلام والمسلمين زين الدين أبي حامد محمد بن أحمد الغزالي الطوسي الطبراني الشافعي رضي الله عنه ونفعنا الله به وبعلومه في الدارين إلى أن قال, and where he has said, may Allah benefit us by him and by his knowledge, by his knowledge in both words, right, to where he has said, right, and we are on the destructive vices, right, the destroyers of worship, which is basically ujub and riya, right. He identified two destroyers of worship in the sixth hurdle. I will speak about what would nullify, and the nullifiers or the destroyers of worship, and that is ujub and riya. Now, right, so so continuing from our book, right? So if you're on the black book, we are on, right, page 256. Okay, right. So here, as for the enormity of the danger, there are several aspects to consider. Right, so that of this disease, right, that Imam al-Ghazali the Imam al-Ghazali has warned us against. Right, so here he says, as for the enormity of the danger, there are several aspects to consider. First, the one who is worthy of worship is a sovereign of endless majesty and might. You are indebted to him for countless and innumerable blessings. You have a body that is flawed by hidden faults, afflicted by many afflictions, and your situation is perilous. Since your lower self is rushing towards a mishap that may befall you, the servant therefore needs to produce work that is pure and sound from a body that is flawed and a lower self that is always inclined to wickedness, always instigating evil. Right? He must produce that work in a manner befitting the Lord of the worlds, in keeping with his majesty, his might, and the abundance of his blessings and gracious favor. Your work must be worthy of his approval and acceptance. Otherwise, you will forfeit the enormous profits which the lower self cannot bear to lose. And you may even be afflicted by a disaster that you simply cannot endure. This, by Allah, is a dreadful and a terrible prospect. As for the majesty and the might of the sovereign, the righteous angels brought near are active in his service through the watches of the night and the day. Some of them have been in an upright posture, qiyam, right, since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created them. Some have been in a bowing posture at the ruku', and some in sujud, right, in prostration, while some have been engaged in glorification, in tasbih, in saying subhanallah, and tahleel, right, proclaiming la ilaha illallah. The one who is standing upright does not conclude his standing, nor the one who is bowing his bowing, nor the one in prostration in his prostration, nor the glorifier in his glorification, nor the one who's proclaiming Allah's oneness, his tahleel will never come to an end, extending the sound of it till the blowing of the trumpets. Then, when they have finished this tremendous service, they all cry out together, "Glory be to you. We have not served you as you truly deserve." The chief of the messengers, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of all creations, of all creatures, the most knowledgeable and most excellent of all human beings, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to his Lord, "I do not count any praise as worthy of you. You are as you have praised yourself." MashaAllah. He is saying, in fact, I cannot praise you with any praise that you deserve, let alone worship you as you deserve. It is also he who said, no one will enter the gardens of paradise on account of his work. And they said, not even you, Ya Rasulullah. And he replied, not even me, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala covers me with his mercy. As for the abundance of his gracious favors and blessings, it is as he has said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and if you try to reckon the bounty of Allah, you will never count it. If you try to enumerate the bounty of Allah, you will never be able to count it. According to traditional report, he will gather people at the resurrection on the basis of three lists: the list of good deeds, the list of bad deeds, and the list of gracious favors. The good deeds will be collated with the gracious favors so that no good deed is noted without the gracious favor being noted, until the gracious favors cover and overflow the good deeds. The bad deeds and sin will remain. So what is to be done about them depends on what Allah wants or Allah's will. As for the faults and the vices of the lower self, we have discussed them in their own chapter. The danger to be feared is that the servant may toil in worshipful service and persist for 70 years, heedless of his faults, and vices, so that not one of his acts of worship is accepted. He may labor for years only to have his work corrupted by a single moment. Even worse than all that is a danger that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may look at the servant while he is making a display of his worship and his service, seeking to impress his fellow human beings. In other words, he has presented his external appearance to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his inner being to creatures. So Allah will drive him into an exile from which there is no return, and only refuge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here Imam Ghazali, he's coming to an end, right, in the chapter. He's concluding the chapter. And he will continue in his conclusion to the chapter for quite some time now. Allah. Astaghfirullah. I wonder how is it that people enable the live transcript. We disable the live transcript. Someone enable it, because on my Zoom it is indicated that someone enabled it. I usually don't enable live transcript. Someone just enable it. How do I stop it? Okay, I don't know. There. Okay. All right. So now, did the transcript stop? I hope it stopped. Did it stop? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Can you all see if there is a transcript on the YouTube? Can I please remind everyone, please don't open up transcript. Please, please, please. I really don't like it. So can you just ensure that there's no transcript opened up? Because I don't know how to disable it. No, I don't know how to disable it. But usually, I don't know what happened because usually Zoom will ask me for permission if there can be an automated transfer. Usually, I will deny permission. I will not allow for it because of what you can see. If they will say nonsense. The transcript will be nonsense, complete nonsense transcript.
Assalamualaikum Ustazah Farhan, Machita here. I check your YouTube. Yes, there is still transcript and I don't see anybody else watching it since it's streaming 29 minutes ago. So it's something to do with the technology behind it and not by someone who watched it. Besides me now, right now, okay, there's two watching. Besides me, okay, there's one more person watching. And then there is no activation.
It's complete nonsense.
Oh, yeah. So yeah.
It's complete nonsense coming up. It's complete nonsense. Something to do.
No, nonsense
Allah.
transcript. Yeah, I can see it from here.
Okay lah. Okay, I'm gonna end the Zoom and I'm gonna restart.
Okay. Shukran.